have no idea what I signed up for. This is so much more difficult than I thought it is. Hi, morning. Is it Nick?
Another day goes past and I can't sleep because I'm anxious about the cold calls I gotta do tomorrow.
Sup, boys and girls. If you didn't know, my name is Yarek, and today I wanted to create this mini series documenting little ventures outside my 9 to 5. And first on the list is running an SMMA, which is a social media marketing agency. I will take you on a little journey over the next 6 months. You will get to witness all the ups, all the downs. It will keep me accountable, and it'll be a good way for me to kind of like look back and see the progress. Okay, firstly, why am I doing all this? Well, you haven't seen already, watch my previous video after this one, after this one. I talk about my yearly mental breakdowns, which get me to be enough discomfort for me to start taking action, basically. This year, I wanted to find out how difficult is it really to make money online at scale. So for that, obviously I needed some sort of high income skill. In my head, at the place where I was at, SMMA seemed like a logical option. Yeah, in terms of a niche, I don't have a niche. It's more just scattergun approach, like just outreaching to as many businesses as I can locally, basically, and then trying to learn as I go. For the type of person I am who just overanalyzes things and is a bit of a perfectionist, well, just a fancy word for procrastinator, accountability for me is just greatly important. I like at the start of anything I do, well, I don't know if it's just myself or maybe like you feel like this as well, but I need a lot of handholding right at the very start. What was the solution for me was to invest a good chunk of money into some sort of course / mentorship. I will talk about the program later on, but so far it's been really good. After about 6 months in the program, I might make some sort of review. The main selling point of this program for me was the weekly accountability, like one-on-one mentorship calls, basically, for the first 2 to 3 months of me running an agency. There's actually a good way of visualizing all of this. Okay, let's say you have a straight line. The point A where you start and point B is where you need to go. So, and you have your mentor right by the side of you, basically. So you walk in a straight line and you might divert. You might go in this direction because of a shiny thing, or you might go in that direction, or you might just completely stop. But it's very useful to have somebody alongside you, be like, no, Yarek, don't go there. Like, come on, focus on the bigger picture. Focus on that point B. That's where you need to go. I'm like, yeah, right. I'm gonna divert and continue going along the path. So I feel like mentorship is just very important. At least that's the way I think about it. It's like some stuff I can just throw stuff, just bang my head against the wall until I succeed. But if stuff like this was just so many just pieces which I just don't know about, I just don't understand. It'd be just nice to have some sort of like support of somebody who's been in my shoes. Okay, so the first thing is the setup. There's a lot of things, a lot of these small little things which I simply just didn't know, and I didn't know that I didn't know them, or I didn't even know that I need to know them. And yeah, like that was maybe 2 to 3 weeks realistically. And yeah, it was just, again, it was around Christmas time, so everything's quite slow anyways. I was just consuming the course and just learning little things. It was a mixture of learning the fundamentals and a lot of procrastination. And I'm counting week 1 is when I actively start to outreach. One of the hurdles for me right at the start was creating some sort of website. After procrastinating for literally about 2 weeks about, what should I use? Should I use Wix? Should I use Squarespace? Should I use ClickFunnels? After those 2 weeks of me being kind of fed up, I was like, enough's enough. And within about 3 to 6 hours, I put together some sort of website. There's a lesson here. So the moral of the story, it takes anywhere between 10 to 20 hours to get remotely okay at a thing. So in this case, creating some website was drag and drop, so it's not crazy difficult. But the problem is, like, for you to get to minute 1 of doing the thing, sometimes to go from minute 0 to minute 1, you actually start and do the thing. Sometimes it takes weeks, which in this case was weeks, but other times it takes years, maybe sometimes even longer. What you want to do is you want to reduce the time to actually start by as much as you possibly can. Literally just starting to do the thing for maybe 5 minutes, and sooner rather than later realize that it's actually not as difficult as you once thought it's going to be. I also spent about 2 weeks brainstorming different business names, and yeah, I literally came up with hundreds. And all of that, after those 2 weeks, I realized, what? I'm not going to do that. Let me just go back to literally one of the first names which I came up with. Yeah, so here you go. Just don't overthink the name. You can change it as you go along. So another thing, I didn't know how to open a business bank account. Should I open like a limited business, or should I just be a glorified freelancer? And yeah, there's just so many little things which, I don't know, like just by themselves, like are not that big of a deal. Like me talking about it to you, it doesn't seem like a big deal, but at the time it definitely was, After all of those things were sorted, it came down to doing the outreach, which is the main thing. This is the biggest lever you gotta pull. Like, you don't need me to tell you this. Like, how you gotta get clients is about outreaching to the clients, like simple stuff really. My view was that cold calling is gonna be the best way of reaching businesses.
Naive little me thought, how difficult can cold calling really be? Well,
after starting to do the cold calling, it became very evident that this was really difficult for me. At the start, when I wasn't really consciously thinking about it, I'm like, oh yeah, this is going to be really easy. I was just very anxious about making the calls, like incredibly anxious.
I don't want to brush over this, so just wanted to highlight that for weeks I was laying in bed unable to go to sleep because of all the anxiety I had for cold calling the following day.
At the start, it was hard. If I can find my very first cold call, I'm just going to put it here.
Right, I'm going to do my first bit of cold calls. I've got 10 minutes until I have a meeting at work because I've been procrastinating a little bit. So I am going to do a couple of cold calls.
Hi, morning. Is it Nick?
Speaking.
Oh, hi, Nick. Basically, I was having a look on Facebook and came across you guys' Facebook page. Like, absolutely love the doggy shower and the bathroom. I just wanted to quickly call and ask if you guys are looking for any more jobs right now.
No.
No, you're not.
We're flat out. Yeah, we're flat out, mate.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, is that for until the summer or?
Yeah, we're constantly busy. We've got maintenance, we've got some project work and what have you. Yeah.
Okay.
What are you looking for?
Basically, I own like a local based agency where we generate leads for you guys and then call them up to make sure that they're good and then pass them over to you.
Yeah, no, I'm fine for work, thank you. Appreciate the call.
Okay, no worries. Have a good day. Bye.
Thanks. Ta-da. Bye.
Haven't seen my first cold call until literally now. This is a tad embarrassing, I can't lie, but like looking back at it, I'm making a lot of progress now. I'm probably gonna end up showing some more cold calls later down the line.
Another aspect of this was for you to call businesses, you need to do the lead generation. So you need to scrape some leads off Google or whatever else. So yeah, I was just very inefficient at it. First, I was using Notion for all of this. It takes too long. Just use Google Sheets. Just save yourself a lot of time. And yeah, for me to get 20 leads in my niche, it took about 2 hours, which is a lot, And eventually, over time, I did get better at it, which is really good. That is really good. But still, like, it was just very overwhelming because I was trying to get up to doing 20 calls per day. So it took me about 2 hours to generate those leads, and then it take me about like an hour and a half to give those 20 leads a call. And yeah, all of that put together. So that's like, let's say 4 hours. 4 hours times 5, 20 hours. It was like a very heavy lift at the start, but over time, the more you do it, the easier it became. Another thing which I was doing, I was having a look at other agencies who are a lot further in the game than I am. So some agencies were doing it for like 2, 3, 4, 5 years, and I just got really overwhelmed because there's just so much I needed to do, and I couldn't basically fathom what it took for me to get that far, And I like to make an analogy here. I thought about this. Well, I've heard about it. I don't know, a few weeks ago, and I thought it was really good. So this could be compared to, like, let's say me going hiking up a mountain, and you get to it. You're hiking for maybe 20 minutes. You look up and you realize, like, damn, I have such a long way to go. So you get overwhelmed, and you're just like, what's even is the point? Should we just come down and just stop? But then instead, you just need to look down. Just focus on the individual steps, which in this case is the day-to-day activities, the little steps what's gonna get you to the top of the mountain. And before you know it, a couple of hours go past, maybe like 5-6 hours and whatever, you're at the summit looking down at the journey you had to take, and you're grateful that you decided to just stick to it, focus on a single step at a time, and then look where you are now. And after making maybe 30 calls, I managed to get my very first meeting. Next thing here, which again is just super small, but I found to be just quite a big problem, was actually using Google Meets or Zoom to book a meeting. For me, that felt very overwhelming, maybe because I've never done it before. I was just very confused with like how to do it, which I'm trying to create a marketing agency, and I don't even know how to create a Zoom call, so that was quite funny. But yeah, we came a long way. Like, you know what, like even me just when I was writing this video, this was maybe after 6 weeks of me starting, I yeah, I was just kind of looking at it. I'm like, I did not realize how far I've actually come. Of course, like I'm not where I want to be, but yeah, I'm moving in the right direction, which is the main thing, you know.
Lesson here: when you're going for all of this from day to day, you don't see how much progress you're actually making.
If you want to see how far you've come, how about you give this kind of like full exercise? Take yourself out now and put yourself, let's say 3 months ago. Would I be okay with me just taking myself out of here, putting myself like 2.5 months back and forgetting about everything that I learned? And looking back at it, I'm like, absolutely not. I can't do that, you know? Like, I don't want to go through all of this again. So clearly, I've learned a lot more than I initially thought I did. Going through the journey day to day, you don't realize how much progress you're actually making. But then when you zoom out on a large enough time horizon, you realize, like, damn, like I'm making so much progress, you know? And the thing is, progress is not linear. Progress is maybe 2 steps forward, 5 steps back, like 3 steps forward, 10 steps back, and then you go 20 steps forward, you know? Yeah, progress is not linear. It's all over the place. And yeah, the main thing is everything you got to do is just stick in the game for long enough. Everything's going to be okay. You just got to stick in the game for long enough. Okay, now let's move on to my very first meeting. This experience was actually quite funny looking back at it. I'm doing my daily outreach, I'm cold calling businesses, and I'm cold calling this one business, and the owner picks up. Let's call him Kev. So Kev seems quite interested, and yeah, we book a meeting for the following day. So the following day comes, I wait 5 minutes, I wait 10 minutes, I'm like, okay, he's not showing up. So, okay, I'll give him a call, just see what's up, hope he's okay, you know? And yeah, so I give him a call. He's like, oh, sorry, I'm busy. I'm in the car dealership. I think that's what he said. Can't remember. And then he passed the phone over to his wife. And yeah, this is the whole experience is quite funny. So she was like, is this a scam? Who are you? Like, why are you calling my husband? Like, blah, 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 blah. Like that. It goes on for like 5-10 minutes. And eventually I kind of calm it down a little bit, and we go on to have like a normal conversation. And so the outcome of that was we set a meeting, all 3 of us, for the following day. The following day comes, they show up to the meeting, we speak, they seem very interested in the solution which I provide, because this is exactly what they're looking for, you know, without going too much into circumstances. But then my first hiccup comes, you know, so I tried to screen share just to showcase a bunch of stuff, but then I couldn't screen share. And I couldn't figure out how to screen share, which is just so embarrassing. Again, I'm doing the fucking social media marketing, and I don't even know how to use Google Meets. Yeah, again, a little embarrassing, quite funny, you know. But yeah, so again, I didn't make it into a big deal. This was Friday, and we decided to arrange another meeting for the following Tuesday. We're going away with the family for the weekend, so yeah, it just makes sense, you know. We didn't have any certain times scheduled in, but they seemed like interested, you know. So I give Kev a call on Monday, and yeah, I give him a call. He doesn't pick up. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. He's probably just busy. So I give him a call again. Does not pick up. I give him a call the 3rd time. Goes to voice message. Send him like a text as well. Just again, they seem quite interested. So yeah. Then the Tuesday comes. We're supposed to have a meeting about like afternoon, maybe like 5-6 o'clock again. I give him and his wife a call, like again, don't pick up. And afterwards my calls start to go straight to voicemail, so I'm like, okay, they block me. I'm like, interesting. Yeah, that was my experience of having the first meeting.
There are lessons here. So number 1, learn to use Google Meets, and if you want to screen share, you want to figure out how to use screen share. I want to make sure that it works before the meeting. And number 2 is a lesson I'm going to cover in the next episode as well, but do more outreach. Make sure your pipeline is constantly full.
And then between week 1 and week 2, I was just kind of experimenting with different scripts. One course structure which I was using at the start, which to be honest is not great, because so many people do use it now. It's like, hi, is this Kev? It's like, oh, okay, this is Kev. It's like, this is a call, so feel free to hang up now or give me 20 seconds. And yeah, the thing is, like, that's quite good, but if hundreds of people use the same script, like, it has no value, you know? Like, you're saying exactly the same thing as everybody else. You're not going to stand out. And eventually I understood that. Again, I'm still having loads of anxiety. Like, I'm still finding it difficult to actually sleep when I'm doing all these calls. But slowly over time, it's like I'm improving, you know? And yeah, so around week 2, I think start week 2, and speak to another business owner in a neighbouring city where I'm at. Yeah, it seems like it'd be quite a good idea for him, you know? So again, like, I'm just trying to get free trials going, because I don't even know how to do meta ads at this point. And yeah, so the next step comes. So now I need to know how to onboard somebody, basically, and I want to send an onboarding email. And yeah, for the next like 3 hours, I figure out how to use Google Drive and then how to use Google Forms as well, which again, I sooner or later figure out how to do, which is good. And then we move over to the next step.
And then I try to arrange an onboarding call. The guy just simply didn't show up, blanks me for the next week. And a little after that, I end up calling him again. He picks up the phone. In short, he just lets me know he's not interested. And at the current time, but maybe the next couple of months, he might think about it again. Like, yeah, frustrating, but I'm learning little bits at a time.
But okay, moral of the story is I'm walking up the stairs, but before I can take the next step up, I have to go all the way down to 0. And every single time I'm moving just a step further up and then going all the way down, which is, yeah, it's interesting. It's an interesting way to learn, but again, quite grateful for that. So at the start was, I've got a sales meeting, then they like basically blanked me. Okay, cool. Next time I got a sales meeting, I got to an onboarding call and then figured out what I need to do for onboarding. Then we took a step down. Then then the next step. So I speak to another business owner again in a local city where I'm at, and yeah, again, seems super interested, seems super keen. So we go for all of that. It's a no-brainer. Like I'm giving him like I think a 14-day, maybe like a month free trial, and afterwards we can go from there really. Yeah, he's like, seems super keen, and we try to go through onboarding process. Basically, onboarding is like need to have access to a bunch of stuff, and one of the main things is becoming a partner on the back end of his Facebook business page, which again, I didn't know how to do, so I kind of quickly figured it out. Watched a bunch of YouTube videos, quite straightforward when you know what you're doing, and yeah, I tried to do that. But there's 2 problems here. Firstly, like he didn't have access to Zoom, so what we were doing is he was pointing his phone at his laptop. That's how we were trying to do it. And then secondly, basically he's not English, he's Romanian, and everything was in Romanian, and I couldn't figure out how to change the language to English. The thing about Facebook is it's changing like very quickly. Every couple of weeks, months, there's another change. And yeah, some of these videos will talk about changing languages, like are a bit outdated now, but okay, cool. Top tip here is you can't change language of a business page, of like settings of business page. You have to go to the person's personal account and then change languages for there, and everything else should be sorted, which again, I figured out after watching like an hour worth of YouTube videos. Next thing is when I tried to become a partner on his business manager, I simply couldn't do it. There was an error popping up. I was like, you know what, cool, like it's going to be about a 40-minute drive for me to meet him. So I was like, you know what, let's just have an in-person meeting and I'll set everything up for you. And yeah, it's going to be, that's going to be good, it'd be a nice way for me to meet a client as well. So yeah, he invites me to his house. I'm like, okay, cool, that's great. I say hello to his wife, and he's got 2 little kids, which is quite funny. So I say hello to them and stuff. And I try to set everything up. So I change his language, and then I try to just become a partner on his like Facebook business manager, right? Oh my days. And I quickly realized that his account is banned, is like as a personal level, basically like just the highest form of restriction. Basically, I say basically a lot.
Long story short, in about 2019, he tried running ads. Well, he didn't set them up properly, and he didn't verify his identity on Facebook. So his account ended up being restricted, and since 3 years have passed, like he can't actually appeal the restriction anymore either. For us to start running ads, he would have to create a new personal Facebook account with another email. Then he would have to warm up that account. Afterwards, we'd be able to create a new business page and then warm that up before starting to run ads. Yeah, basically time passes. I tried to set up a call, like he was unavailable, and then over time his interest kind of faded away. So that was that. And to be honest, like the stuff he was doing, I wasn't sure that Meta ads would actually be the best for him. I think Google probably been a bit better.
Okay, so as you see, like now we going a step further. There's this set of stairs which I'm going up slowly, and then after every time I go up a step, I have to go all the way down. Which again is just hella interesting. But yeah, super grateful for the learning lessons. Okay, now I'm learning the next thing. Mate, if you ever got to do meta ads, run meta ads for local businesses, and there's going to be just so many things which just going to go wrong. You just need to figure out how to solve it. So you become very good at problem solving very quickly. Okay, guys, and we are going to call it here for now. Next time we're going to dive into more meetings. We're going to dive into more calls, and then dive into my first client, which I started running ads for. Again, that's going to be really exciting. Thanks so much for watching, and if you want to see another one of my videos, maybe you want to see part 2 of this when that releases, so watch that. But otherwise, I made a video about my yearly breakdowns, which forces me to take loads of action. I made a video about it right here, so check it out.